I'm John Florence, and you're watching Woohoo. Nice to see you.
Pros from around the world will be taking over Tampa, Florida next weekend. The Tampa Pro, one of the most traditional skateboarding events in the world, will be holding its 24th annual event. Jagger Eaton, Felipe Gustavo, and Ryan Descent are some of the skateboarders attending the competition. To add to the stakes, the highest non-SLS pro will advance straight to the 2018 Street League Skateboarding Pro Open. After 5 consecutive days of action, the first stop on the men's and women's WSL Championship Tour wrapped up on March 15th at the world-famous Waves of Kira in Queensland, Australia. Located down towards the southern end of the Gold Coast Superbank, Snapper Rocks revealed 6-foot sets at daybreak. It was in these conditions that Lakey Peterson and Julian Wilson were crowned as event champions.
Yeah, it's crazy. It's just starting to sink in now, and it's just so much hard work goes into this, you know, and everyone on tour is so good, and it's so hard to get a win on this tour. It's incredible, the talent level and what you've got to put into it. So it just feels so nice to finally get the win, and coming back after last year where I had a second, so close, and the injury was the year before that. So just been a lot of variables, but I think I took all that and just learned from it, and it's just been amazing.
Already embroiled in the men's title race, Julian Wilson commanded the spotlight, bearing the weight of expectation as a potential future world champion. Ever since he qualified for the championship tour in 2011, Julian went up against Adrian Buchan in the final and found a barrel on his first wave that scored a 9.93. Wilson only had to maintain the advantage from there. Adrian managed to score an 8.60 during the heat, but just could not overcome Julian's advantage to take the win.
It's new territory for me. I hope it gives me great confidence. I've never experienced it before. I don't know what it's going to feel like until I get down there, but yeah, I've learned a lot about myself in the last week, and I'll just try and continue to grow and continue to keep working on my shoulder and get it stronger and stronger.
To reach the final, Adrian Buchan and Julian Wilson eliminated CT rookies Tomas Hermes and Griffin Colapinto. The Brazilian Hermes, who faced Ace in the first heat of the semifinals, only needed a 4.84 to overtake Buchan and advance to the final. San Clemente local Griffin Colapinto bowed out in semifinal number 2 to the eventual winner Julian Wilson. Still, Colapinto turned heads on the CT at the Gold Coast event. Having qualified for the 2018 championship tour following the Haleiwa contest in Hawaii, Griffin scored the only perfect 10 of the competition. Squaring off against Tahitian Michel Perez in the quarterfinals, the young American displayed solid technique and getting barreled twice on the same wave to draw the top score from the judges. Keppel, Austria hosted the Freeride Junior World Championship for skiing and snowboarding. The event brought together 62 competitors ages 15 to 18 from 17 countries. In the men's snow challenge, the Americans stole the show with a delegation of 16 riders. The podium was dominated by them. Jesse Alves claimed the top spot, beating out fellow countrymen Holden Samuels and Andrew Kratz, who finished second and third respectively.
Feels amazing. I was out here last year and I had a little fall, so it was really good to get the redemption this year.
After cruising 658 kilometers, Czech Jaroslav Kilhavy and American Howard Grotz were declared champions of the 2018 Cape Epic Men's Race. The pair who took the lead in the third stage remained in the lead until the end. Considered favorites, they won the race against the clock, which was welcome news on the most eagerly awaited ultramarathon among mountain bikers, especially after the sixth stage, which involved 76 kilometers and a 2,000-meter climb. Jaroslav and Howard finished with an advantage of 9 minutes and 38 seconds over second place.
It was pretty good 8 days for us, and I mean, we lost the strongest riders, but we had a lot of problems the first stages. But yeah, I mean, it was a great performance from us, and I'm really happy, especially about Howie, because he was really strong, and it was something new for him, and it's pretty good for future for our team, because we have big support, we have best bikes, and yeah, it's all good for the next year.
The dispute for second place was a very fierce battle between the teams of Canyon Toe Peak and Cannondale Factory Racing. Although they remained in second place until Saturday, German Manuel Fumic and Brazilian Henrique Avancini suffered the wear of testing. After a fall and a flat tire during the final stage, they ended up crossing the finish line in ninth. After all was said and done, their performance earned them third overall behind Austrian Albin Lakata and Czech Christian Heineck. Among the women, the Danish rider Annika Langvad and American Kate Courtney did not totally dominate. On Sunday, the two crossed the finish line in fifth. Even so, they held on to a time advantage of 46 minutes and 29 seconds over second place. The winners of the final stage, Brazilian Heisa Golan and France's Margot Moschetti, climbed a spot in the general placement to finish in the fifth position overall.
Do you like the outdoors and the thrill of action sports? If so, check out Heat, a show that will for sure catch your attention. It'll take you through the sickest adventures and events around the world, with exclusive interviews from stars of all different personalities, new and upcoming talent, and equipment tips. Heat, the hottest electronic magazine on TV. Tonight on Woohoo!
We arrived in Santiago, just looked like biggest idiots probably, standing in the middle of biggest city in Chile.
We're walking down the street, we have all our ski gear on, everybody's looking at us.
And we get to the top of the building and we get up there and it's just the sickest view. It's looking over the whole city and we're just like, this doesn't seem real.
The heli just drops in and picks us up.
It felt really unreal. It felt kind of wrong in a way to be looking out over Santiago, no snow, just a big city. The mountains were only a 15 minutes flight away with the heli, so it kind of made sense, but at the same time it didn't make sense at all.
Challenging the terrain that I was on, it was all a first for me. I learned so much hanging out with skiers from the big mountain. I spent more time in the park and in the pipe, so to be able to spend time with Sam Fevlet, it was unreal. I learned a lot from him.
It was really impressive at first just to see the big mountains. Everything looks so different from up in the heli, and then you get dropped off, and yeah, you really need to like think more than once about what you want to ride. After being dropped off the first time, you like immediately got so into it and just wanted to ride that.
It's hard to explain like how much fun it is standing on top of a peak and you're just looking down at this big, vast mountain below you.
That's the best freedom feeling ever. To be out there and snowboarding, that's one of the best ones for sure.
It's a really cool feeling when you get to the bottom after you've rode a line or whatever it is, and you're like kind of shaking with excitement, and that's kind of what snowboarding is.
We already had a really good beginning of the trip, so we had a lot of good shots, and we felt like it was time to head to the coast. We heard about this place called Pichilemu.
You guys could surf that. Oh, how's it going?
Spirit of the trip. Honey Badger don't care. Honey Badger just does whatever he wants.
the adventure side of things is really what gets me, and the unknown and exploring, and it's something that I really enjoy. I think someone who enjoys adventure can't be kind of stuck down in one place for too long.
The chaos of the streets, the freedom of movement, and building an identity. These are the ingredients for Fisheye. From New York to Barcelona, from Copenhagen to Los Angeles, this show takes a look at the most urban and individualistic in the action sports world. With the gnarliest sessions, sick interviews of skate stars, and the lives of those who live and breathe skateboarding. Fisheye, Tuesday at night.
Hey, what's up? This is Kel from CPH. I'm one of the guys behind the CPH Open. The Copenhagen Open, it's so much more than a contest. I like to think of it as one big session with all the best skaters in the world. It doesn't really seem like anyone is caring about the money they can win, because the prize purse is not that big, but it's all about the love for skateboarding, the love for hanging out, seeing each other, being able to skate with the pros, hang out with your bros, just having a good time.
My name is Rune Glifberg from Copenhagen, Denmark, and a professional skateboarder for about 25 years. For me, the Copenhagen Open's really about showcasing Copenhagen to the skateboard world, and letting everyone come here and enjoy Copenhagen for the beautiful city that it is, and enjoying skateboarding and the way kind of that we do things here, and how we've always how our skate scene's always been. The festivities and the fun in skateboarding has always been a big part of how skateboarding is here, like how we've done contests in the past, like way back in the 80s, early 90s, we used to have like sort of, well, I say big contests, but big contests for the time, where all the local skaters would show up, and it'd just kind of be like one big party, and there'd be like confetti everywhere, and like people doing like beer bongs and crazy stuff, and yeah, so those were like legendary contests back then. But so I think now it's really about showcasing to the skateboard world that that's what skateboarding is here in Copenhagen, and I think it goes hand in hand with the spirit of what most skateboarders feel that skateboarding should be. Fun. think the city of Copenhagen knows the value of an event like this. Like, you know, the focus that Copenhagen gets just for being a beautiful city or whatever it might be. I think that somehow gets us access to a lot of places that would normally be off limits for skateboarding, you know. So skating inside City Hall last year, or skating in Tivoli, you know, like one of the oldest amusement parks in the world, you know what I mean? Like, it's something, you know, truly unique. And yeah, I think it's great that the city is so open to you know, to doing things like that. And yeah, it definitely makes for great skateboarding and for unique experiences that we'll never have again, you know. So I think that's pretty cool, is, you know, something like skating inside City Hall, it'll never happen again, you know what I mean? It happened once and it doesn't need to happen again. So that's why if you're not here, you're missing out.
Yeah, this year was definitely crazy with a lot of people, but I think it's just like I think it's the atmosphere, the city. Within the last 10 years, we got a lot of skate spots, so I think, you know, people discover it as a, like, normally before it was only Prague and Barcelona and Berlin that was kind of the skateboard cities in Europe. But now we're on the map too, because of the architecture and stuff here. So I think it's a mixture of just being able to drink in the street, smoke in the street, and just get your own session going while you're here, and then you can just drop in and watch, you know, one of the concerts going on. But it's so much more than just a concert. It's about your own skateboard journey in this city.
What's up, guys? Good to be back in Copenhagen. This is my 6th year here. I'm really glad that we had a great time as always. You know, it's always a good time to be back in Copenhagen, hang out with the friends, just skate around and, you know, have fun. That's all it matters. Just skate with your friends, smile, be happy, and that's it. Today the contest was amazing. Everyone killed it. Ishad won with the gnarliest run I've ever seen in my whole life. So yeah, congrats to Ishad. Good to see all the homies, and I hope you guys enjoy it. Yeah, till next time. Copenhagen Open 2017. Peace.
Contest just went down and I'm pretty hyped. When I come for the contest, I don't really expect shit. I just know that I'm gonna have a good time either way, just because of the way this place is. It's just a good time. It's gonna happen. It's getting bigger every year, you know how it goes. Everybody loves a good time, so I want to come out because everybody loves a good time, pretty much. Literally the best thing about it is, like, so many of my friends come out and we just ride around the city, biking around, skating. It's the shit we love. You don't get kicked out of spots. There's so many places for you to skate. It's just good.
the Copenhagen Open is just getting bigger and bigger every year, and I think it's you know, with the internet and all the videos that are produced from, you know, from the Copenhagen Open group, or just like on Thrasher or whatever it might be, like all the worldwide media, that attention that this contest is getting, you know, I think it just attracts more and more people, because when you look at, you know, all the Instagram videos or all the Thrasher vids or our own Copenhagen Open videos, it's like, it just looks like a ball of fun. It looks like something you just really want to be involved with, and I think that just attracts a lot of people, and everyone's like, next year I have to be there. I mean, I know I have friends that have never been to Copenhagen Open before that are like, all right, I'm coming this year, like I'm making it happen, you know, and so yeah, hopefully it'll continue to grow like that.
Yeah, it is definitely the last year of the Copenhagen Open as we know it. I will never say anything is the last year, because I can't do that, but I can just say Copenhagen Open that was the last year. So we might do something, we will probably do something in the future, but now we just gonna lean back and give it some good thoughts and try to come up with some new fun stuff to do, because I think we reached the maximum capacity of what's possible within the things we did this year. So we need to rethink it all and come up with some new stuff.
A good surfboard can be the key piece for a surfer to win a world title. Australian Darren Handley knows extremely well the importance of quality equipment, and for some 30 years has been designing boards for some of the best surfers in the world. With riders like Stephanie Gilmore, Mick Fanning, and Dimity Stoyle, Matt Wilkinson, and Jack Freestone as some of the professionals who have made up his team, it's no wonder that DHD is considered one of the best boards on the planet.
I was lucky enough to grow up in Kirra, and at that time we had Michael Peterson, Peter Druin and Robert Bartholomew surfing all the time, and it was such a surf town, and everyone was, you know, loving the surfing because we had such great waves like Kirra and Snapper Rocks. It was uncrowded, it was new, it was the best thing around, and I grew up in that town and everyone wanted to be a surfer, and everything was relating around surfing at that time, so it was such a great place to grow up. And that's sort of what paved the way for me to become, you know, a shaper today and a surfer. I was a surfer. I was trying to surf contests. I was surfing in the amateur series, and I got second in Australia, and things were going pretty good. But my parents said, you know, there's no money in it. You're becoming a bum. Go and get a job. So I left my parents' place and went to the place where you find a job, and here was a job cleaning floors at a surfboard factory at Pipe Dream Surfboards, and I just went, oh my God, this is amazing. So I went there, I swept floors, I learned how to sand boards, I learned how to glass boards, and it wasn't until probably 3 years into the thing that I found an old board that was just up on a thing that been sitting there from the day I moved in. And I said to Murray, can I shape this board? He goes, yeah, you can have it. So I made a board for my brother, who was like 5 years younger. And I got in there and I shaped away, and it probably took me 4 hours, and the board was nearly finished anyway. And I went, wow, that was fun. So then I gave it to him, and then I went, oh, I'll shape another one, and shape one for myself. And then just the feeling of shaping, and you create something, and it takes 3 weeks for it to be finished, and you're waiting to find out what it's going to go like when you get it in the water. And that feeling I still have today, and that feeling that I have with my surfers that are winning these comps on my board, it's just a great feeling. The motivation for myself was just to make boards for myself at the start. That's all I wanted to do, and then I realised that I'm good at it and I've got a good brain to actually understand how boards work. And yeah, Murray taught me, and then I've taught everybody after that in this town. Like JS used to work for me sweeping the floors, you know. Sparrow from Superbrand, he used to cut my boards on the machine. And then all the glasses and sanders and everything around here have all come through me and Murray, and then started their own business because the industry's just got so big. When I first started shaping, I didn't do it for the money. I still don't do it for the money. I do it because I still enjoy it. I love coming to work, and I love creating stuff in this beautiful room. I listen to some great music, turn the air conditioner on, and I've got my own little space where no one can hassle me. So that was really good. And I think if you did it for the money, it's the wrong reason. I just do it for the love, because I love to see my surfers become world champions. That's my #1 goal, is to make them become the best thing. When I was young, you know, starting shape, and I ran into Mick Fanning. He was in the same board riders, Kira board riders. He's this blonde-haired little guy doing these big cutties and getting barreled. I went up to him at the contest. I said, "I'm thinking about putting someone on the team. Do you want to be on the team?" He goes, "Yeah," and that was it. So that was when he was 13 years old, and he's been on the team ever since. So that's 25 years or something like that. Me and Mick have been together. And he was my first real team rider that I put a lot of attention to. I had a lot of guys that, you know, I was giving cheap boards to, that, you know, were trying to do WQS back a long time ago. But the relationship that I have with the team riders is really important. I think with Mick, he had 2 things in his life that made a difference. The first thing was when Sean passed away. He was so young, and he just became from a boy to a man like that. It was so quick that he turned into a man, and he had to, because he didn't have father figures. His brothers were away working, and he had to basically look after his mum. So that became where it gave him this strong mind and strong will to do what he wanted to do. The second big thing that happened to Mick was when he got his injury. He did that injury, and then, you know, he might have never surfed again. So he had to get in the gym. He had also to switch that brain on and go, "I've got to get back, I've got to get back." And he trained hard, and he became this fit, strong-minded surfer that rips, you know. And that was the reason he won 3 world titles. Those 2 things are sort of the reason why he's put in all that work to get to where he's got to now.
Yeah, DH is all time. He's so funny. He's, you know, makes incredible boards, and yeah, I've been working with him for over 20 years now. So we've got a great relationship. Uncle Darren, he's a good man.
With each surfer, Darren establishes a type of relationship. but most of the time their partnerships begin in an unpretentious manner and evolve into a very close and super productive relationship.
Wilco's a classic for me. It was 4 years ago, we were in Portugal, and he was just having a bad time with his surfboards. And I said, oh, come and I'll have a look. And he had some Bradleys there and some Emerys there, all these big class sort of shapers. And I said, well, let's go surfing. So I grabbed all these boards. These ones look good. And I surfed on the boards with him. And I went, this board's probably the best one. And he went and got a 10 the next heat. It wasn't one of my boards, it was someone else's board. And then after that I said, look, when I go home, if you want me, I'll make you some boards. So that's how I became a shaper, by helping him out on other boards. Wilco was just trying to get through heats, and every year, right at the last heat, he needed a result, he'd get his result. And every year was like, oh, here we go, Wilco again, and he liked his food, and he liked the beer and stuff like that. But then came along Micro, super coach, got him fit, you know, and got him talking to his shaper more, and got him talking to people with, you know, dietitians and everything like that. And then all of a sudden, Wilco comes into last year, first contest, wins. Second contest, wins. Third contest, I can't remember where he got pretty high. And it was like, oh my God, this is the Wilco that we knew we had, and everyone. And then, you know, he faded off and had a few bad results in South Africa and all that sort of stuff. And he had the best result ever. And he was relaxed, he bought a new house, got a new girlfriend, all good. Then we go, I can't do it again. You know, we come into this, that was pretty good. Comes into this contest, makes the final, gets beaten by Owen, who everyone wanted to win. So Wilco's been just a really good story. I've stuck with him for 5 years, and now he's paying rewards of just, now he understands surfboards a bit, he's fit, and it just shows you that if you get fit, you got really good people behind you, you can win any contest.
Built between the waves of Snapper Rocks and the Surf Riders Club that faces the peak, Stephanie Gilmore, in a similar fashion to Mick Fanning, began working with Darren as a teenager. The partnership of both has been very important for them to reach the upper echelon of competitive surfing.
So Stephanie Gilmore, you know, she's an amazing person. She's been brought up by really cool parents. You know, she plays really good guitar, drums, all that sort of stuff. And she's just grown up on these beautiful right-hand points that we've had. So that gets your style really good. And she won 6 world titles really easy. There wasn't any girls around that could really match her. And she was just doing what she does, getting through heats, winning world titles. Life was good. Then some more competition came along, being Sally, being Courtney, being Carissa, and even some of the newer girls, you know, they're just getting better. So the last 2 years she had a few injuries. She had where she got hit on the head. That really mucked around with her for a while, and then she had another injury with a leg. So it's taken her 2 years to get over all that sort of stuff. So this year we've put some effort in, lots more different boards, because she's training for the first time, but she has amazing natural talent in everything she does. So she's not this, oh, I've got to win at all costs. She's out there having fun. While she's having fun doing that, you've probably got Sally down the road running and training and going, I've got to win, I've got to train harder to win. That's not how you win contests. You've got to be calm, relaxed, and enjoying your stuff and having a smile. And you know, don't be fooled by Steph's smile. She'll kill you with that smile when she gets you in a heat. So, and we got to see what the training has done in that last contest. That 10 she got, those turns, you know, half the men in the WCT couldn't do them, and you know, nearly all men that try to go out and surf could never do those turns. So I was really proud of her. She's like a sister to me. She's fantastic to Steph.
Darren Haley, he's the best. Darren shaped my first surfboard for me when I was like, I think 12 or 13 years old, and I couldn't believe how fast he made it. Like, you know, normally you order a board and it takes months and months, and Darren just popped one out. I had it within a couple of days and I was just in disbelief. And you know, he's more than a shaper to myself and Mick Fanning. He's like a brother or a dad, really. We call him a life coach, really. He's there with us, you know, at events. He's keen to surf with us, and he really puts in that time and effort to learn, you know, about our equipment, what we love, what we don't love, and that's really important.
The culture of surfing clubs in Australia has provided a fertile ground for Darren's tests and the quest for surfers on his team.
Every kid that lives in Australia mainly lives around the ocean. Okay, we're a big country, but not too many people live in the middle of the country. So in summer they start these nipper contests, you know, where you put on your little hat, your swimmers, and you learn to swim in the ocean, and you've got the boards that you paddle, and you do the running on the beach, and it's just good for your soul. Parents come down and you do that until you're about 13 years old, and then you can become a senior clubbing. But while they're doing that, they're also surfing. And then you know, in around Australia we've got so many surfboard rider clubs. You know, I belong to Kira. Mick Fanning belongs to Kira. They got Parko, who's snapper. So we have this rivalry between the clubs as well. So each club's little area wants to beat that area, and then we have the big contest in the middle of the year with everyone. But it comes with so much support, with family, friends. Not everyone's a great surfer in that club, but we become united together as one club, just like a soccer club. You know, we've got supporters, we've got, you know, we go there, we have the barbecue after the contest, and it just makes a really good atmosphere. And if some surfers are becoming really good, they get Parker will go, hey, that kid's getting really good, we need to get him some new boards, or this kid's going to be good, we should sponsor him. So it's just a really good stepping stone for Australian surfing. I think that's why Australian surfing has so many great surfers. You know, a lot of countries have good surfers in the CT, but when you watch the beach, there's not many good surfers. Australia has lots of good surfers. Every year people ask me what's new in surfboards. Every year, you know, everyone wants to know what's going on, as if I should know. There is a lot of things about the environment that we talk about, and surfboards now, the materials are so much better, so the surfboards do last a lot longer. They go through 3, sometimes 4 people before, you know, they're no good and they have to be, you know, disregarded. Epoxy resins, you know, it's just the same. I don't see many difference with epoxy being much better for the environment. But what I do see in is that we can't do anything with the environment because we spend all the money on all the team, all the advertising, all the marketing, going to the contest, sponsoring the contest, and the people that supply us with the raw materials, the blanks, the resin, the cloth, they've never put their hand in their pocket once and said, oh, we'll help you out, or we're going to change that. So they're the ones that are making millions and millions of dollars, so it's up to those guys to change it. We can't change it. We can try, and we are trying a little bit, but it's up to those guys to really, because they're making so much money and we're making a small amount of money. But going back to what's going to be new is the stuff that I've been making is the epoxy core, which is the 2 foams connected. You've got one which is the PU foam and one with the polystyrene foam in the middle. This gives you the best of 2 boards, and we've had some really great success on this board, and we've got another generation of that coming out, and I think that is the way that's going to be. And the reason I know that's going to be really popular, because now I look around and I've got Channel Islands copying me, I've got JS copying me, so they've seen what I've done and they're going, wow, why didn't we think of that? So that's what's going to be new, the blend of 2 together.
When you call me back, don't explain why you were here in the middle of a party with all your friends. Jump into my car, drive as fast as I can to bring you back to me again. I've been told you were bold with scars and bruises covered your face. What the hell happens to you? I'm shaking and worried when I arrive in front of the party. When I open up the door, I felt good when it sung for me. I felt good, this party was for me. I felt good, all my friends was here. I thank you for this. I thank you for this. I thank you for this.
How's it going, guys? Today we'll explore a place where life rolls with the waves. Located on the Southern California coast of Orange County, Huntington Beach is the perfect address for those in love with surfing and all that surrounds it. This is where Californian beach culture was born and carries on today. With favorable weather, mild temperatures, and year-round sunshine, Surf City, as it has become known, is the perfect place to visit. The city boasts 16 continuous miles of coastline filled with a variety of attractions capable of making anyone fall in love. You can start by pedaling along the Pacific Coast Bike Path, visit museums, observe whales, and of course, surf. While in Huntington Beach, you'll be able to enjoy beautiful end-of-the-day sunsets over the Pacific and live the most relaxed way of life on the west coast of the United States. Bolsa Chica Ecological Reserve is the first stop on our Huntington Beach virtual tour. This inspiring place is located across from the Pacific Coast Highway, one of the most scenic roads in the United States. Bolsa Chica is focused on recovering and preserving the environment, especially the marsh. There, you can walk several trails, view beautiful landscape, and observe various animals in their natural habitat. This reserve is renowned for being one of the top bird-watching destinations in all of California.
The Bolsa Chica wetlands is a very, very special chunk of land. It is an eco-reserve because this is the largest wetland reclamation project in Southern California.
Just across the street is one of the most popular beaches in the area, used year-round by swimmers and surfers.
I come out here to Bolsa Chica to surf a lot of times just to kind of hang out with the dolphins. And today it's a bit windy out there, but the water temperature is amazing. It's about 72 degrees, so I'm out here to surf to have fun. So it's a little more competitive down near the pier, so I like to come here so I can just have fun and not have to worry about people getting angry with me.
Bolsa Chica Beach Park, which is approximately 3 miles long, begins at Warner Avenue and extends south to Sea Point Avenue. It's also a much sought-after destination at night because of the fire pits, which people use for bonfires and barbecues. Lifeguards are always patrolling the perimeter, but beach towers are only manned during the summer. One of the most beautiful places to enjoy nature and relax in Huntington Beach is Huntington Central Park. This is Orange County's largest city-owned park and covers more than 350 acres of land. This peaceful setting of open lawns and extensive tree and flower plantations can be used for various activities such as picnics, biking, horseback riding, hiking, playing with the family, strolling along the paved pathways, and enjoying the serene atmosphere. As you would expect from Surf City, USA, a city that values its history and culture, Huntington Beach is home to the International Surf Museum. This museum was opened in 1987 by Natalie Koch, a Canadian who, until arriving in the city, had never seen anyone surf. This small museum recounts the history of surfing with a collection of wooden boards, a curious room with sand samples from beaches around the world, a life-size statue of the Silver Surfer from the Fantastic Four film, the bust and board of Duke Kahanamoku, who is known as the father of modern surfing, and until recently, the first electric guitar from Dick Dale, the creator of surf rock.
Hi, I'm Kelly, and we are here at the Huntington Beach International Surf Museum. We are celebrating that in June of 2015, we broke the world record for the world's largest surfboard. And this year, June of 2017, we broke the world record for the world's largest paddle out. We also have an exhibit featuring Eddie Aikau, his family, and his accomplishments.
list of surf shops, companies, brands, shapers, and workshops producing material and equipment from Southern California is enormous. During our trip through Huntington Beach, we visited one of the most recognizable stores in the area, Jack's Surf Shop. The property features a wide range of products including surfboards, swimwear, clothing, sunglasses, shoes, skateboards, and surf accessories for men, women, and children. It's hard to find a shop with more to offer than this one.
Well, Jack's surf shop started in 1957 by a gentleman named Jack Hokinson. So he opened up originally in Anaheim, California, and then he came to Huntington Beach. I think is around 59, 60 is when that Jack started, and we ended up owning Jack. So he ended up buying it from Jack in 1975, and then we've grown it since then. From that single store, now we have 7 stores.
Living is fantasy. Cheer along, the congregation's thunder. I'm dumbstruck. Now we all cheer along, the hollow-headed conductor, living in fantasy. Cheer along, the congregation's thunder. I'm dumbstruck alone.
Local life revolves around the iconic Huntington Beach Pier. Measuring 1,850 feet, the pier is the heart of Huntington Beach and one of the most photographed spots in town. Besides its extensive length and postcard-perfect appearance, there are plenty of attractions to make your visit even more fun. Its structure is made up of several shops and a Ruby's Diner. Huntington Beach Pier is the perfect place to watch the sunset, admire the Pacific, and if you're lucky, you might even catch some live music as musicians like to perform on the pier. Surfing is much more than merely an activity in this region. It's part of the local culture. With what is considered one of the best waves on the West Coast, along with soft sand beaches and beautiful landscapes, this really is the only place that can truly be called Surf City. The main beach in Huntington is also the site of the US Open of Surfing. This beach plays host to this very traditional championship event on the WSL qualifying series. So, for those of you traveling to Huntington Beach between July and August, be sure to enjoy a day in the sun and don't miss out on this awesome event. It's an incredible experience. On Sundays, the area hosts summer festivals with surf music shows. A fun time is guaranteed. Locals spend the whole year in the water, and some of the best surfers in the world have the pleasure of calling Huntington Beach home. From the pier, a short walk leads you to the stylish boutiques and restaurants of Main Street. With many sidewalk tables and terraces, this allows you to indulge in the fresh sea breeze and sunny afternoons in Huntington Beach. There are restaurants, pubs, cafes, surf shops, art galleries, live music, and much more. On certain days, Main Street is closed off to cars for the running of fairs with live music, art, and a variety of vendors. Just plan out your budget and spend the day shopping.
What's up? It's Grayson Fletcher, and you're watching Woohoo! Yeah!
Hola, soy Julieta, soy argentina y estoy acá en Tulum hace 2 años ya. Y vine como de vacaciones porque tenía un amigo de un amigo. Y luego me enamoré de este lugar y decidí quedarme y trabajar acá.
World Surf Tour coverage. The biggest skateboard competitions. The most popular action sports event results. Movies and urban art is part of Woohoo News. The newscast is made for those who enjoy action and information. Woohoo News, Monday through Friday at night.
In 2008, a young visionary called Nico drew a castle. Soon after, it was built out of snow. He invited 9 fellow skiers to take flight over this unusual construction. Little did Nico know that 9 years later, he would still be drawing castles. Castles that have taken on a life of their own, creating moments that capture the imagination. These are the moments that begin with the number 9.
Oh my God! How did you do that? Oh my gosh!
that something you dream about, flying?
Yeah, I wanna fly. I wanna have wings and just fly around. That would be the dream.
This really isn't just some sport we take part of. It's an art, it's a way of life. It's a creative outlet for many different people coming at it from many different angles.
We don't come here to win anything. We come here for ourselves.
I think we as humans are meant to accomplish things. We're meant to do things that haven't been done or to do things that we were made to do. I feel like I was made to ski. So when I go out there and I land something new, or I land something that's new to me, or I put a new twist on a trick and really make it my own, that's the most satisfying thing I can do in this life right now.
As soon as I take off, it's like just an incredible feeling. I feel free for that 1 or 2 seconds I'm in the air. And it's really cool.
The thing that I enjoy about it is that I never really know ahead of time what it's going to be like. I see the drawings and I try to wrap my mind around what they're planning on doing, but I don't really know until I get here and I see it in person.
This year here in Vatlez at the Suzuki 9 Royals, we have 10 people involved. They're working right now on the details, and we were using 4 snowcats during the last 6 weeks just to collect all the snow. In the end, we need 35,000 cubic meters.
There's always a new take on it every year, and this year's 9 Royals, and the setup is amazing. There's so many different kinds of options.
It's hard to understand what's going on here.
Big tranny everywhere.
Not only do we have big hips and big air jumps, but there's a lot of unique rail features and a butter pad. I think we're just going to see some really fun things happen.
Sobald sie die Burg sehen, geht ihnen das Herz aus und sie wollen damit spielen. Und das ist schon genial, wie sie rumexperimentieren, einfach das Geilste aus der Burg rauszuholen.
It looks insane! It's crazy. What's going on?
It looks scary too, so that's good.
They always try to build something different, better, bigger than the year before.
We try to integrate more hits, more rails. We also try to point out some special features. The thing that we are doing is more building houses, so we have plans that look totally similar to building a bridge or something. Measures are really precise. First of all, we put a focus on the jumps, the geometry that it works. Then we start designing the castle things around.
I don't know, I've never seen something like this before, where you have like a hip where you can go over it, where you can do retransfer, and again, this way a jump, another rail, like so many different lines. It's like a combo where the girls can have lines too, where the boys can send it. This is probably the craziest thing I've seen built in snow.
You don't need to fill in the whole backboard. It's just cool that Nico listens to all of us and tries to build the best feature out there.
You can just hit the middle first, and then you can slowly go over the end edge, and then just go over. Like you can. I think this could be a really cool one.
So many options. So I think we had here 5 or 6 days of riding, and I'm sure it's never gonna get boring.
My definition of fun on skis. It's 5 years, I think, that I've been coming here in the spring, and the setup is always amazing. It's always friendly. The schedule is rider friendly. You can ride as much or as little as you want. There's very little pressure. It's just up to you. It's self-motivated. Do you want to do something? Do you want to accomplish something? Do you want to get some shots?
We actually get some time to shred and have fun. No pressure, even though everyone knows that you're here to progress.
That's why inevitably every year something brand new, something crazy goes down, because the event is designed around the riders rather than trying to make the riders fit the event. It's an event for riders by riders, and it's amazing. On the women's side, I've enjoyed watching them evolve from the need for 9 queens and the need for a women's specific event where they could all get together and get hyped and not feel the pressure of having the guys. And now the girls have brought their level up so high that I don't think it's abnormal to have us all together.
I love that this year it's 9 rails and they've connected the knights and queens. I'm always really inspired by the guy riders and it's really fun to have them around. And I mean, the guys are who I feel most of us look up to.
Boys for sure motivate us more because they're just crazy, like stuff the boys do, like I can't even imagine.
When I got here, I tried to limit myself to not hit the jump and every time to try something like some other kind of line. I guess that's what I like the most, to do creative stuff or creative lines.
Jesper lives in a video game and just did dub to wall ride, then into the down rail. I don't know how he comes up with that stuff. It's next level. Never seen it before.
Always brings out the style in different riders. Watching Nicky Kiefer and just the way he shifties and grabs, and even taking it back to the OG days with Lolo. And the castle, it seems like it's one defined feature, but the way that everybody approaches it is different.
I joined the media team in 2011 as a filmer and editor at 9 Queens. And then since then, it's been really amazing every year to watch the events develop and evolve, watch it really carve out something unique in the way we both approach the media side of things and the tricks that get thrown down.
And what for you are some of the biggest highlights from events that have happened in the past, like the big moments that you remember from these events?
It was probably when I saw the first ever switch 1080 getting thrown by a girl in a comp. It was Maria Bagge, a really good friend of mine from Sweden. And she felt it, and she did it.
And then Kaya did one same day in the contest. From all of the years I've been here, I think that was a very monumental shift in our industry. It was when the girls, for the first time, had really stepped up to the challenge. They had their own event finally, and they were like, hey, we're coming to the table, and this is what we're bringing. And since then, they've pushed. For a lot of the girls, I think it opened the doors of, oh, yeah, I'm going to have a go at something like that. Maybe not that trick. I'm going to try and do this trick. And I think that really opened a floodgate. Lisa's an interesting character. She's great, super talented. And when she did that first dub 12, it was a very special occasion because that really opened the doors for girls doing doubles.
The whole project is a highlight every year. But if I have to point out one thing, I would say 2 years ago when we built the castle in Motolino with halfpipe in the middle.
We've always seen like the setups over the years, and it's always been a dream to go there and like hit one of those jumps because they all look so good. And then we come there and see it in real life, and it's just insane. 2 jumps, it was a halfpipe in the middle, super insane. You can get really creative.
Livigno, Saturday, contest training and stuff. After a whole week of free shooting, you know, everyone's going back a bit towards their more reserved tricks. So we're all sort of on standby, and then there's these whispers that Jesper's up to something. And it's one of those lines that you look at and you go, how cool would that be? It's the sort of thing you see in a video game and you're like, no one would really do that.
Yeah, about the double backflip 2014. Yeah, that was crazy. I don't remember too much, like before or after. The gap with the steer, like it was there all week. Everybody looked at it, but nobody tried it, so.
From the kicker of the girls, it's technically impossible to get on the other side, right?
No, I'm gonna do that now.
What?
But I was scared, for sure.
When I found out he was lining it up, I was shooting that from the bottom. And when I watched him, when I watched it unfold, and I couldn't believe it was really happening in front of me, I never really expected to see somebody look at something that big with such, what to me looks like huge consequence. But to Jesper is more just a calculation that he has to make in his head, where there's definitely physics in place where he can hit this jump at this speed going at that direction, and he will land right here very softly, right out of it, and it'll be fine. And that's a calculation I can't make in my head. And I don't think many other people do. That's really what makes Jesper special. He has this amazing quality to make a very educated calculation and then execute it. Physically, it's really incredible.
I don't know. I don't know if I understood like the risk with that gap. Now when I see it after, I realized that it was pretty stupid. I should not have done it, but it was pretty good that I did it because it was pretty fun, I guess.
I have a lot of memories, and it's funny because we've been in different places, but my memories are they're all in the same file in my brain. They're all under 9 nights. Obviously, going 46.5 feet off the ground was a lifetime. That's a lifetime highlight. That's something that I'll never forget. It was insanely big. It was, it seemed scary in concept, but while I was doing it, it was mostly just fun. It was so much airtime, so much time off the ground.
There's so many good riders here this year at the Suzuki 9 Royals. We have, for example, Anna Gasser. She just stumped 2 different doubles in the same contest. That was insane.
Anna sending it first thing, back double 10, no big deal. Like, I'm very, very inspired by her and just how zero fear she has. I mean, I'm sure she does, but she just really is good with working with it and pushing through and doing really gnarly things that I didn't really think were possible.
I don't know, I think I'm just a really driven person, and I always want to learn new things, and the adrenaline I get doing a new trick is like a feeling you can't describe. There's so much work in it, and when you finally get it, it's like just an incredible feeling. I just love snowboarding, and it's not gonna change with an injury. It's kind of crazy that I think a lot of athletes, as soon as they're injured and can't do what they love, they miss it even more. And every time after an injury, I'm just more motivated to get back, which is actually kind of crazy.
Just tried a dub 12. I went to FIMA's first ever dub 14, but didn't really nail it, unfortunately, and went down.
It's certainly when you have injuries and you have hard times and long strings of things beating you up, breaking things, it definitely wears on you a little bit. I've had 2 ACL reconstructions. I've dislocated my hip, broken this collarbone.
I dislocated my elbow, I dislocated my wrist. I did my AC joint, I broke my ankle.
Broke a foot, I broke an elbow, I broke a rib, but thankfully those like fractures were all relatively mellow.
We're not gonna be friends again.
Sometimes I wonder why we all are doing such crazy shit all the time. I keep eating shit and falling and maybe getting hurt and getting more than anything afraid in your mind. But when you're able to overcome that and land a trick, it just feels like nothing else on earth.
I think we have to put our hands down for the media people at this event because they do a freaking awesome job. You know, they're up there with us all day at the mountain, and then when we come home and chill and go to the spa, they go into the media room and they work their ass off to sort all the media that's been shot during the day and also select photos, and they're doing an amazing job.
So a typical day in the life of a filmer at this event is get up very early, pack everything, make sure your batteries are charged, make sure that your cards are formatted, then head up the hill, wait until the athletes arrive, which sometimes takes quite a while. Film all day, edit whenever you can, select shots whenever you can, probably go to bed after midnight, and then repeat it all again the next day.
First 9 Queens was pretty wild. Middle of the week, didn't sleep for 72 hours. Just did 3 days of work straight, no bed. And it was just mountain, shoot, come home, edit all night, go to breakfast, feel super haggard, maybe sneak a nap in after lunch because you've been busted, and get woken up and it's like sunset session. You're like, oh, shit. And there's a super late one doing that, you know, you're on the mountain till 8:30, 9 o'clock, probably get down at 9:30, smash in a bit of pizza, straight into ingest and edit, pulling selects, start working on an edit. Oh shit, next day, we've got to go up the mountain at 3:30 in the morning, sunrise shoot.
Kind of go a little bit insane. But it's all worth it in the end, and we're one big happy family, and that's what makes it extra special.
The days on the mountain can be a really tough grind, you know, it's difficult for us. But at no point while I'm filming am I going to crash into an icy knuckle. So much respect for the athletes and what they're putting on the line.
It's a pretty ridiculous conglomeration of people that make this event happen. You know, between the event organizers, the people on site here in Watlais, making sure we have enough snow, all the shapers, the Schneestern crew, all the guys at Distillery making the thing happen, getting enough sponsors and enough dollars to make it possible, every filmer, every photographer, and then all the riders. I mean, I can't say that one person or another is more valuable. Everybody comes together, and that's what makes this event so cool. It's a partnership. We put on this crazy thing, and we build this huge castle, and we get some good content, and it's great.
Oh my God! He just did a front flip over the biggest jump of the whole castle. Crazy.
For me, the gala night here at Nine Royals is the best party there is in free skiing or in snowboarding. Everybody gets to come together and see what we made. The shapers, the event organizers, everybody gets to see the content, and we all get to sit there and view it together.
I think something that's very special about the gala night, especially for us as media, is that we live in a world now where we're chasing likes and views and things that exist in the cloud. But the likes and views that you get at gala night as one of the media is something tangible. The people are there, and it's not a number or a counter, it's noise. And people screaming and going wild, and booze flying everywhere, and shoes getting down, and chants. And possible regrettable Instagram feeds. So if you're looking for a good time, follow a Gala Night Snapchat. Because, oh mama, you are in for a ride.
Hi Mom, I'm drunk again.
Everyone is just so amazed. It's been the best moment probably every time I've been at this event, to sit down there among your friends and see what you accomplish for 1 week of skiing. It's freaking awesome.
I did not expect quads to be done this quickly. Like, we just learned triples and now we're doing quads. Like Andre's quad, it was perfect.
Yeah, I just stopped my first ever quad 18 with safety. So stoked. I was so nervous at the top and glad that I land on my feet. Yeah!
How does it feel?
Yeah, it's crazy to go into the last one. Like, yeah.
We're just calling you the quad guy there.
Yeah. We didn't know it's him.
Nice name.
They need respect and nurturing and care, and they don't need to be just hyped up as the next thing that's going to get people watching the Olympics again, you know? They're definitely much bigger than that.
Oh, you can't really compare the FIS events with the 9 Royals or 9 Queens. It's serious.
Every event has a different vibe, and every event organization has different things that they want from the athletes. And for myself, I try to keep myself removed from that. But when you do see something like an event like 9 Royals, where it really is designed around the athletes and it's athlete friendly, it makes you realize what an event could be, and the fact that we don't really need all this conflict between the athletes and the organization committee. We really could have something that's good for the spectators and good for the riders. So that's what 9 Royals is all about.
I think the future of these events is progression. Things will continue to grow. The way the tricks get done, the way the jumps are built, the way we capture all of that happening. There's only unlimited room for growth here, and the only thing holding these events back is our own creativity.
I love that we have so many different aspects of snowboarding, and it's not only the contest FIS snowboarding side. For example, this we can like get creative with photos or like videos, and I feel fortunate that we have that in our sport. I don't think a lot of other Olympic sports have that other aspect in their sport than we have in snowboarding.
For me, the special thing about these events is that it's an art form. Sometimes it's a monologue performed by a single actor, by themselves, alone, on a stage that doubles as a sculpture. it's a beautiful thing just to look at, let alone have people ride. Other times, the art form presents itself as an entire orchestra, a symphony of creativity working together as one to create something beautiful out of a one-time event.
Hello and welcome to another edition of Movies, the program specially made for lovers of all things cinema. Here you can stay on top of all the feature films that have premiered this week and get tips on productions related to the action sports world. Sunday is sacred, a day of rest, right? Wrong. For the Brazilian Italo Ferreira, Sunday is a day of work. This new production from the runner-up of the WSL Cascais Pro is called Sunday Funday.
Well, that depends.
Fuck this, I put it on my bucket list to do technical shit on the EP with a twist. So when people take the piss, I jump out with a fist like this. Who in the cover of the guns now? Somehow, man, I don't think that you're gonna now take a bow. I chill with a sing town. Now watch how a pro does this now.
Now taking a break from all of those serious and long videos, Sunday Funday has a short 1-minute video on the futuristic surf of Italo Ferreira, one of the best surfers in the world and top 10 on the World Surf League. The scenery is Supertubo's Peniche, Portugal. It's crazy tubes and heavy lip. Although the tone of the video may be light and relaxed, the repertoire of the Brazilian is heavy as usual.
Hater, you're bait. I'm face to face and fake, you late and don't shake. Never been a treat that's great. I'm the high grade buzz, bruv, you're the shake. It's the shutdown team, done me. I'm about done for now. I killed them ball straight, now I'm jumping out to the next downtime. Let the murder sound. I'm signing off. Peace out.
Well, you certainly surprised me with your vocabulary.
Siblings Jimmy Logan and Clyde Logan are not known for their cool ideas, but they craft a plan to pull off a big heist at a NASCAR racetrack. To accomplish the task, they rely on the help of a robbery specialist. But first, they need to get him out of jail.
Jimmy, I'm just gonna say it. I gotta let you go.
You were just fired.
I was let go for liability reasons involving insurance.
The one-armed bartender.
You need to show a little respect. Charlotte Motor Speedway.
After being fired from his job, Jimmy Logan looks for his brother Clyde and sister to convince them to team up and steal money during a NASCAR race at the Charlotte Motor Speedway in North Carolina. This is the largest championship of stock car racing in the United States. The idea is to steal a safe located just below the racetrack by taking advantage of the sensors that have been shut down due to the works on site. To do so, they need the help of an explosive expert. But to their luck, the best of the best, Joe Bang is in jail. So their first mission is to come up with a plan to break Joe out of jail without getting caught. The film stars Adam Driver, Channing Tatum, and Daniel Craig. The cast also features Riley Keough, Katie Holmes, and Seth MacFarlane. The production marks the return of director Steven Soderbergh to the cinema. He had announced his retirement after the telefilm My Life with Liberace in 2013. In addition to directing, Steven also is a part of editing and photography.
They're gonna know what we want them to know.
My life of crime is over.
That is massively stupid.
It's been handled.
Oh, this is gonna be good.
That looks like it hurt.
I want everything on Jimmy Logan.
I'm about to
Get naked. So no bacon. I said no bacon.
You Logans mustn't be as simple-minded as people say.
People say that.
Would you give me my arm, please?
Is it this one?
For those who like animation and adventure, Ghost Boy is one of today's tops. The film follows the life of an 11-year-old boy who lives in a hospital because of an illness. He can't play like the other children. Instead, he has a power that no one else has, to levitate in the air without being seen or touched.
message, so pay close attention. I am your new king. New York is my town. You belong to me. You have reason to be afraid.
Leo is an 11-year-old boy who is hospitalized for a serious illness. He can't interact with other children except for with his younger sister Titi. This may make him sad, but on the other hand, he has a power that no other child has. Leo can levitate without being seen or touched while his physical body remains lying still. Using his skill, he will help a cop in a wheelchair on a difficult mission. This involves investigating a dangerous case about a bandit that was nicknamed the Man with the Broken Face, who is terrorizing the city. The Phantom Kid was directed by Jean-Luc Felicioli and Elaine Ganal.
The latest production from Lakey Peterson shows the Californian stomping her foot on the tail in a display of flawless power surfing. She keeps it classy in this totally black and white video.
As a native of Santa Barbara, California, Lakey Peterson is currently in 8th place in the Women's Championship Tour rankings. She is perhaps the competitor with the most striking backside attack. Aaron Lieber's video, filmed in Central America, is an ode to the speedy, aggressive frontier of the blonde. Lakey emerged to the world in 2009 at the age of 14, showing off her repertoire aerial maneuvers, which was very rare at the time. That's right, not that long ago, airs were still a little misunderstood. Thankfully, we've evolved, and today we get to watch these crazy sessions with high-performance maneuvers that are constantly progressing.
If you like terror and suspense, my suggestion this week is the movie Happy Death Day. In the film, a woman is murdered and becomes trapped in a vicious cycle between life and death. To free herself, she needs to find out who was responsible for her murder.
Oh, hey, you're up.
Am I in a dorm room?
Yeah, I folded your pants for you.
Great.
Dude, did you hit that or what?
Stop global warming.
You sneaky little biatch. Maybe you should switch to water next time. Super helpful. Don't be late to your party tonight.
Okay, bye.
Bye. Tree, happy birthday.
Bottle full of bub, look, mommy, I got the eggs in the taking drugs. I'm in the habits.
You scared me.
You're up.
Look, I know this isn't gonna make any sense.
Stop global warming?
I feel like I'm losing my mind.
In the film Happy Death Day, Tree Geldman is a young university student who is murdered on her birthday, but ends up in a cycle that repeats itself between life and death. She relives the same day continuously and tries to solve the mystery of her own murder, resurrecting several times until finding out who was responsible for the crime. Realizing that only by unraveling what has caused her death, she can escape her tragic fate. The problem is that death always finds its way to get her in her numerous attempts. Actress Jessica Roth of La La Land, Singing Seasons, and About Travels and Loves plays the protagonist, Tree Geldman. The cast also features Israel Brassard's Bling Ring, The Hollywood Gang, and for their first appearance on screen, Rachel Matthews and Ruby Modine. The film was produced by Jason Blum, who in a recent interview with Cine Pop described the Blumhouse thriller as a mix of Panic, a Brazilian television comedy show, and Time Spell, in which a reporter inexplicably gets stuck in time. Budgeted at $5 million, this feature film was directed by Christopher Landon's How to Survive a Zombie Attack and Paranormal Activity, Marked by Evil.
All units, we've got a 187.
That's all the time we have this week. Just a quick reminder for all of you that our communication channel is open. You can send an email to watchwoohoo.com with suggestions, reviews, or whatever's on your mind. Have a great weekend, and we'll see you next time.
So ladies and gentlemen, the winner, Kelly Slater, runner-up, Blanca Filucco, Shane Dorian, and Rob Machado.
A soul is not chosen. When you are born, it is born. And when it lives, you live. No matter what your adventure will be, sooner or later, your soul causes you to discover a new sound, a new movie, a new peak, a good sensation. So good that you don't want it to end. Never stop moving. Evolve. Overcome. Feel. Live. Woohoo!
my characters, some of them are in actual b-boy poses, freezes. They're in like a top rock or footwork or whatever it is. Then there's other ones that are kind of like just posing like for the picture, like yo, boom, you know, like when we take flicks, everybody doesn't just stand there like, everybody's like yo, boom. So that's where these figures, these characters are like inspired from as well. That we pose, you know, like you might not know me, but if I'm taking a picture like that and you see me, like okay, that dude's a b-boy. So this style of art that I'm doing, this technique, it's just one line. I've been doing that for about 5 years, 6 years. But like the figures, as far as like the b-boy poses that they're getting into, like the movements, freezes, all that, I started doing that recently. I mean, I've been drawing some type of figures and like b-boy poses, but nothing like what I'm doing now with the one line. Well, it's just one continuous line. The line will start at one point and the point travels. The whole theory behind, or the explanation behind my work is called molecular constellation. So if you notice, there's like dots in my work. And those dots represent stars. Stars give off light, lighter particles or molecules. So the molecules, they travel in the direction of the line, manifesting the image you see. When you take away the line, you're left with a constellation of molecules. So all my work is called molecular constellations. It's just like bright things, you know, like bright colors. Some people that inspire me, that I look up to, other artists, you know, / designers, somebody like Emilio Pucci. You know, that dude, like his palette is, he is the palette. He's the palette, so, you know, like, you know, you just see something and you're like, damn, all right, I'm gonna try this twist with it. He did these, I'm gonna do this. And you know, you just start experimenting with other colors and you start finding patterns and you're like, wow, man, you can just do so much. I get inspired from ancient art, from like indigenous art, feathers, you know, like anything that's like from the like South American, Central American, Native, all these cultures, Mayan, Olmec, Toltec, you know, Quimbaja, Muisca, Inca, all that, you know, all that inspires me. So when I see those pictures and that gold and like their pottery and all their symbols and pendants and like nose rings, and I'm just like, wow, this is amazing, man, and this is where we come from. So then I'm like, you know what, I gotta show this in my way to the people.
Venus.
Graph, you go paint, you throw your first sketch. When you see that's good, you start filling in, blah, 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 boom, bam. And then the final thing is the outline, you know, like just make it look nice and crisp. So same way, it's kind of like I go there, I do the one line, I step back, it's proportionate and I'm good enough, I start filling in, you know, and then when I'm filled in, done everything I gotta do, I just go back with the one line, one shot, you know. I'm familiar with people's work for sure. I mean, to be in the culture, one has to be familiar with the work from the culture, and especially the locals, you know, like you gotta know who's who, you gotta know how, you know, there's like a certain code and you gotta know who's who, and you know, like showing respect, and you know, I mean, but my style isn't, I mean, it's not graffiti, so you can't compare me to you know, like another piece, because I have my own, you know, it's my own style, so.
Galaxy, I'm the ruler of the galaxy.
I think anywhere anybody lives is a good place to do art. You gotta be, it's all about perspective, right? Here in Miami, there's a lot of artists. You gotta be able to set yourself apart from all these other artists and styles, because there's so many people that paint or that draw or do something, so you gotta have a different style. There's some people that don't evolve, or you can like move to a town that doesn't have no art, and that opportunity there is for you to shine, because you should be like one of the main artists there. So I think anywhere you go is a good opportunity, especially nowadays with the internet and all that and social media. You can kind of like be everywhere, so anywhere is a good place to be. But I'm from here, I love it down here, and there's other opportunities everywhere for sure. LA, New York, Definitely, the hip hop scene here in Miami, there's an opportunity for sure. I mean, my crew, Flipside Kings, we do our events, Fan Fest, in August, usually like the second week of August every year. It's different, of course, it's always going to be changing, like we're not the same person we were like 10 minutes ago. You know what I'm saying? So it's always changing, but there's a lot of opportunity here in Miami for a betterment of the culture. But I love it, man. There's a lot of B-boys out here, definitely got a lot of hip hop down here. People, say, oh, there's no hip hop down here. The culture's dead, or blah blah blah. But not really. I don't think so. We just got to get more united. Somebody were to come here from from out of town, and they want to go to a hip hop spot. I mean, in Wynwood area, they're starting to do like a lot of, like guest DJs with like breaks or funk, all that stuff. I would say probably Friday nights at Wynwood Yard, there's a dude named DJ Spam, and he spins like funk, everything. So, sometimes we go there, get down, and it's not like a floor where you can go get down, but you're a B-boy, you're gonna break anywhere, it don't matter where it is.
I'm the ruler of the galaxy.
I don't know, man. I mean, I started collecting just because I was infatuated with the culture, with like everything about it. When I was a little kid, we'd buy tapes and CDs. You kind of like open up the back and read all the thank yous and the shout outs and all that. So, that's why I collect a lot of that stuff, just to kind of read it. And when I was younger, I would read a lot of that stuff. So, I like documenting as far as like vintage hip hop, memorabilia, anything to keep the culture alive. I can't really tell you what's been, I mean, I don't know, that's not my main avenue. Like, I do it because I have a lot of it, and I don't know, I'm only keeping the things that I want. It's not like I kind of do this, like I'm a collector. I mean, yeah, but not like, I don't know, I should have more. If I was a serious collector, I'd probably have more, but I just collect what I think I need and what inspires me, like I'm an artist, so, there's hip hop books. That inspires me, and then I go to the drawing table and then I start sketching up or drawing, some hip hop figures or inspired dudes or women, characters. We travel, of course, you gotta travel to put the work in the culture, you gotta go out there, win some, depending how hard you train, it's not about competing really, it's more about just, being in the culture, going ciphering, support. That's what it is really, that's what it really is. It's not like I'm gonna go compete, like that's not what breaking is about. That's what I didn't start breaking because of that, you start breaking or b-boying for the love, already have a set of glyphs that don't have any enunciation, like you can't pronounce them, but they're just like glyphs that I'm gonna use. And you know, definitely I have this idea that I'm gonna, it's like a key. You gotta like refer to the key with the whole alphabet, and it tells you what the glyphs mean, what letters they are, what numbers, and then you can read the messages throughout the whole book. So yeah, I definitely do have one coming out.
Galaxy, I'm the ruler of the galaxy.
Yeah, if you want to see my work, you can go to louisdeology.com. That's LOUIEDEOLOGY.com. My Instagram is the same, @LouisDeology. My Facebook is Louis Deology. Everything is Louis Deology.
Hey, what's up? This is John from Public Access TV, and you're watching Oohoo.
For those of you who love to attend contests and are obsessed with the action of surf, or just love to keep up to date on the latest news of the surf world, Surf Club is your show, packed with lots of information, exclusive interviews, and of course, non-stop perfect waves. Surf Club, every Monday night with the best surfers in the world.
can't live without. Your body's prison, I can't get out. I know I will fight for you. I know I will wait for you. Your love is good, I can't live without. Your body's prison, I can't get out. crossing county lines just to make my name in the city. Took everything, put it on the line, cause I never break or back down. One shot is do or die, and the odds ain't looking too pretty. But I got the feeling it's my time. I know I'm taking it now. Price of blood, sweat, and tears, and I never looked for salvation. I worked for this for all these years, and I wouldn't break or back down. No. I fought through all my fears and all of my frustrations. I see the light is getting clear. I know